Still in the online environment as well. Let's not forget.
They're on the internet
and they are on the internet, and they are grinding. I feel like I've seen a lot of this tier 2, these tier 2 to 1.5 level of teams really perform in ways that are kind of scary to be up against. And I think Astralis could definitely get caught by the likes of Nemesis. So I'm just excited to see, what Nemesis can do with this opportunity as we get into the match here now. Astralis, though, will be starting out on that CT side here, generally the favored side, of course, on Nuke.
Oh, already? I mean, we just got started.
Okay.
Well, Result might make up for the crater of his teammates, as great work is being done around the A bomb site, in and around. That leaves Stair alone. What on earth just happened? Honestly, we just got started, and there are already incidents to be noted.
First blood by gravity. Stair with a lot to do in this position. They're doing a good job here, Nemesis, and just ensuring that Stair has the hardest road. Very well done. So they're going to pick up a clean 1-0 start. And are they flexing, James? You're losing a player to just crater death there, or?
Man, so normally that happens when you're making a jump and you've been shot, which slows your acceleration. Yep, and then bang, exactly that. Wonderful to see, and you're just glad it's not you it's happening to. I like that Astralis are not afraid to play Nuke versus Nemesis here, because you might just. I think some teams with when they're looking at an opponent with 90% win rates on Nuke, might look at hard counter picks and just taking some gambles with the vetoes, but they're like, no, we'll take this. We'll go with this. Let's see what we can do. Well, it is just a beginning here on Nuke. So indeed, we will see what they can do. Scout is out for Fuzi. A full investment here from Astralis, as Nemesis will cut noise and creep.
Seeing the name Ryu, does it take you back to your Street Fighter days?
Not really.
Getting smashed by some, Hadokens, getting zoned out. No? Okay, cool. Glad we had that talk.
I don't think he's the only Ryu in CS. I think there's another one. I think there's at least two. So it's not new. It doesn't feel new to me. If we see a Zangief, then I'll start asking questions.
I always remember when Hooksy kind of came back into the Astralis team in Kazakhstan last year in Astana. In fact, actually, it's actually so funny because the crowd in Astana was actually chanting Hooksy's name. He had so much aura, James.
This is the right decision from Astralis, because you can essentially just reset the situation next round rather than die for no good reason. Terrorists win. We were decent men in an indecent time. Wow, 10 men surviving. It's a brave new world.
Yeah, you don't see that very commonly.
Yeah. So 2-0 Nemesis. A comfortable start so far. But now Astralis get to run it back, essentially. They may pick up the odd grenade here or there, but that round prior was lacking opportunity for them. So maybe a big three mapper between these squads. I think everybody's excited to see not overpass, also known as Cash, be played.
Ooh. Okay. Results. Losing a big chunk of health on the outside there. And I mean, with these pistols, I mean, that's the play, you just soften them up. Now just one deagle shot will do the trick on Results.
Oh, talk about chain flashes. That was a lot of flashes outside, but still, maybe walking into the meat grinder, or maybe more of a cheese grater, since it is not the strongest round from Astralis. Either way, it will be very painful for this Nemesis side.
Yeah, they're in a tricky spot, actually, because of the HP is so low. They lost Sexy already, and there we go. Able to punish Result, who was so low. Salta trying to find a path for his teammates. Hooksy catching Magic-E off guard is going to make life look now very desperate. 2 players left, Salta and Sedain. We'll see if they can do anything with this. Salta really needs this kill, but he's going to be able to get it. Wow, okay, he's going to find that one onto Hooksy. 2 versus 3, but their health is so incredibly low. And Fuzzy again. That scout has been causing problems in this round.
Oof. So not committing to the bomb plot, maybe expecting someone to be there, but now it's about survival, and that's not going to happen either. I don't know how many times I can say that I have seen a force buying team on the CT side in a scenario such as this full save after, you know, being outpositioned by the guys with the guns, run it back the next round, and then win that round in such a fashion. I think it's very, very rare, but it's been a hell of a successful one here for Astralis.
Yes, I mean, this is a map of great comfort for Nemesis. A 90% win rate across 10 maps played in the last 3 months. So it is the most confident of maps for them.
There's some Ryu stats for you there, Dan. 5 players / coaches of the name Ryu. Yeah, I think it's somebody in NA. But anyway,
no, thank you.
Celta and Result will be dropped as well as Sedaim. So they are getting melted quickly, Nemesis. And whatever comfort they may have on Nuke will not be present at the beginning of this series.
What about Ken? We've got to check Ken now. I feel like you'd expect to see more of those.
Just ignore him, guys.
Bomb is lost currently. And so Astralis in a very nice position. I mean, especially if they can keep everybody alive here. Nemesis working their way around the ramp.
So awkward. There's just not much for them to do here.
Yeah.
They don't have the bomb. So it's kind of like hiding in plain sight, really. Which is tough when... Well, I mean, you don't want to lose too much money if you're the CT side here hunting these Ts. If you're like, oh, yeah, we could get some more AKs. It not really worth it. So they may be able to hold out on the ramp here. But this is perhaps not the start they were expecting. Astralis with some cards up the sleeve, it seems.
And I can see the argument for Nemesis to go for some kills here, you know, because the money's going to be pretty sucky, so at least having everybody on the same economy, maybe it makes it a little bit easier to get those buys in later on. But either way, interestingly, you know, we talked about the stats for Nemesis on Nuke in the last 3 months. Astralis have a 20% win rate with 5 maps played on Nuke, which is weird to say for a team called Astralis, James, because, you know, historically, I feel like when you think of the legacy, the legend of Astralis, you think, oh, this is the team that never lost Nuke. I forget what their record was, but they had like some ridiculous streak, obviously with just like the OG Astralis lineup, but still.
So after losing the pistol, I think Astralis will be very happy indeed with the current goings-on. But this will be a dangerous round. There are some rifles out here for Nemesis, and they have taken early presence towards Secret, which will give them lots of time to try and find something. Astralis will let them know that they are aware with that smoke down below. But now Nemesis need to find a jewel, need to create opportunity for themselves with these 2 AKs.
Yeah, slow affair for Nemesis. And, wow, okay, Yabby's going for some information. Hooksy as well joining in from the squeaky door. Stain will burst out of radio back with that P250. And now suddenly Astralis in some trouble. 3 versus 4 for them. However, obviously the weaponry is not great here for Nemesis. They're gonna, well, they did collect some grenades there, but it's like another trade comes through. So still maintaining that man advantage. 40 seconds to go now. The bomb has to be collected. Are you asking some questions of this position? Result's going to go down. That's going to even up the affair. 30 seconds now for this bomb to be planted.
So a brutal war of attrition if you're on a CT side right now, but they're still around to be rescued. Oh dear, Fuzi holding down 2 jobs. They're looking towards main, exposed to heaven. Wrong way at the wrong time. Which leaves Ryu with much to do. Ryu or Ryu, whichever you prefer. UK mans tend to say Ryu.
Yeah, true.
He has a kit. And he will be annihilated by Texi. So Nemesis, able to do things the hard way. And you would expect some prowess when the chips are down, when you've got numbers like they do on Nuke. So I think this is, well, it's already proving to be a very interesting game of Nuke. But that must have felt like a very long, difficult round for Astralis.
Yeah, I think for Nemesis, what was very interesting is how they slowed the pace down so much, it kind of made it uncomfortable for Astralis, baiting Astralis in for that, play into lobby, which isn't a bad thing by any measure, but it just, you don't want to be finding fights like that ultimately at the CTs and giving up players early. That's, of course, the worst outcome. This is an interesting map in terms of the CT perspective.
Ooh. AWP announced.
Cross smokes.
Yeah, nice refresh of the smokes there. Just allowing Astralis to dump their utility. Trying to limit the risk. But Hooksy will still deliver. Minute 10 on the clock as presence is shown by Stein around A. So they've got some position. Some position. But Hooksy continues to be a problem. Wanting to thirst that headshot. But it's more important that he stays alive. Quietly repositioning now. He's got some support from the ramp. Essentially just baiting the squad at this point. 40 seconds on the clock. That bomb will need to get planted eventually. And now the frags start to fly in here for Nemesis. 3 on 4 in their favor.
20 seconds. Right, he has a lot of work to do in this position. Let's see if he is able to do it. It's going to be very challenging though. 14 seconds. Needs to be absolutely perfect. Good reposition. Isolating the 1v1s. Can you believe it? 3 kills back to back. Magic-y will take down 2, but I don't think this time here. Picks up the bomb, and it's just a done round at this point. Yavi's going to come in and take Magic-y down. Astralis, really well played. And I think Hooksy, James, the delay that he provided and just how he paced around that lower site was excellent.
Yeah, you've really got milliseconds to decide on if you fight to the death there. You know, he headshot somebody in his second position around the B bomb site, went back to have another go, spotted 2 players there and was able to disengage. And that is so important. Just stunting the growth, the progress of Nemesis in that round. And then you can see Astralis are positioned and quietly ready to deal with the threats. An overperformance from Ryu as well. Wonderfully done. And the score quickly tied now, as the pistols are out once again for Nemesis, but they've got enough utility for an execute.
And they starting to rain in. There's the outside smokes once again. Not a comfortable game here for Astralis. Good spray initially, but the Tech 9 prevails. Another Tech 9 kill onto the site. Disaster striking. Astralis once again just can't seem to stabilize in this game of Nuke just yet. And with Nemesis on the bomb, all those guns collected, I don't think there's a challenge here for Astralis. They're going to be backing off to the spawn. They seem to agree. And sometimes it's just you just throw the Tech 9s at the upper side, James. Sometimes that just works.
I like the timing from Nemesis. I mean, we've seen plenty of teams with Tech 9s and such buy utility, and sometimes there might be a bum rush into the A bomb site, but I think that their timing, they use their timing well with this utility. We saw it in the full buy earlier when they had the second wave of smokes outside to avoid all the counter utility and positioning from the CT side. So they're using their experience well in that regard and putting themselves in good positions to get rounds on the board on their T side. 7 rounds done now, and they are 1 round to the good as the AKs will come out once again. And this does really put Astralis in an uncomfortable position. I mean, I feel like many of the rounds have been uncomfortable, again, with that pace of Nemesis, when they were slow with the pistols, winning unlikely rounds and so on. This may prove painful as well. This could be a tipping point for Nemesis and the remainder of this half if they're able to break Astralis while they're a little bit weak.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's that CT side. It's just, really sucks. It really sucks when you don't have enough to play with. At least on this map, unlike some of the other maps we've seen today, I feel like there are some more creative options you can kind of get away with on the CT side with low eco, just because of a lot of the close ranges, because you're not as punished on rotations as you are on some of the maps. Obviously, that's the thing that makes this map unique, I suppose, from the CT side perspective. That you're kind of the sites are stacked on top of each other. There you go, deep smoke on ramp, so that's going to slow things down there, and same on squeaky door. Keeping Nemesis honest and unable to go for a rush anywhere.
So we have the smokes outside for Nemesis. Texi still by T-Red at present. And again, that second wave deployed from T-Spawn by Celta. And it's Stairs' turn to show presence there. As we have seen, Huxi do great things from there on more than 1 round. So a good hold, but he'll show some presence and rotate elsewhere and allow Texi to move in uncontested after that grenade.
Yes.
This says to me that Astralis are very confident in choosing where the fights will take place. So you know what Nemesis are up to at this stage of the round. And with 40 seconds left, Nemesis have got a lot of movement to do to seize a bomb site here.
Yeah, definitely starting to get uncomfortable. Stame is going to be able to try to make things a little bit easier, though. Nice pickup. Going for another one. The trade, though, from Ryu comes in. 4 players left now, darting down to the lower site. I don't know about the time pressure here. They're going to get the smoke down, and there's no CT to slow the plant, so they'll be good on that front. But now having to hold a 4 versus 4 retake. And Astralis aren't really in great positions at the moment. It's going to take them some time, burn some time on the bomb to get into positions.
I'm not sure that they will be going for it.
No kits.
Yeah, Ryu's certainly not interested. Again, it's just too costly. Too costly, too much of the time to go for a round such as this. Instead of playing it the safe way as best they can. Quite an interesting one from Nemesis. About 35 seconds on the clock, and I think there were 3 of them just past T-Red. They got an entry onto the A-bomb sites, and I wondered if they might just send it into there, but they still pursued the B route, maybe inviting rotation from the CTs. Their A players to dime eventually dealt with, but again, no one to challenge on the B bomb site after that.
Yeah, I like the quality of pacing from Nemesis so far. You know, I think they've managed to force some mistakes from Astralis with how they've been pacing the game, and they're also, I think, making it so that Astralis are going to be susceptible at some future round to a burst play, like we saw the upper site with Tech 9. Something that's very, very fast could catch Astralis, given again these very, very, very slow rounds that go into the final seconds that we've seen from Nemesis, which will make the CTs feel very uncomfortable. And they'll also tend to try to hold on to util earlier on, and that's a nice pickup onto Texi.
They're getting so much from that position, are Astralis. The aggression from Secret has caught Nemesis on at least 3 different rounds now. But they will need more to show for it at the end of the round, Astralis. Oh. Not the results the Dime was looking for. And that's a lot of quick information around the lobby as well. Bomb carrier Magiki lurking towards that lobby position, and he will be dealt with. And that might mark the end of this round, or the chances to win it, unless they do it by elimination. 40-second sounds heard in the A-bomb site, and the CTs will position accordingly.
They love to burn the clock. The setup area is hard to deal with. Fuzi certainly with an advantage on this fight. And that is exactly why. Angles, how do they work? So much creeping, James. I've never seen so much creeping.
Yeah, it's a very quiet game. Very quiet game so far. I was just looking, Celta and Result were the last two, and I was just looking at their profile pictures because their expressions are somewhat opposite. Celta's like, yeah, this is great, and Result's like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure.
I like how that's like the state of the round. You're trying to find amusement any way you can.
Yeah. Astralis now maybe can take some control of this game in the coming rounds. I say that mainly because of the pistols, but we know that Nemesis are quite capable with their utility, of which there is still much, even with what they've deployed here. Turning up the heat on the A-bomb sites. But maybe the real wave comes now. I think that was a flash that bounced backwards, but the main impact, I think, was correct. Perhaps trying to draw the CTs in. We did see the smokes go over the roof. Oh, that sound cue is very unfortunate for Result. Just gave Fuzi a little extra focus, which makes it a 5-on-4.
Magiki will get caught by Yabi there, still waiting in the lower setup. And cue the creeping. Not too much to do other than to try to find position quietly at the moment. Celta does have the bomb. And Stain has managed to get himself a kill. And there we go. We hear it ringing off in the distance. Deagle connected, and that's going to be the plant. AK as well. And suddenly Astralis in a little bit of trouble. They've got to find a way to retake this. There is a kit on Ryu. We'll see if he's able to get into a position to use it. But speaking of position, Nemesis are in fantastic spots. Look at that one at distance. Yeah, but he can't even, I mean, he has to worry about so much right here.
Yeah, it's a really tough scenario. Where is that last player, though? Don't you hate those ones when you feel like you've checked the corner, but you haven't checked the corner, and as you move away from checking it, that happens. Very unfortunate indeed. Yeah. But that was a hard-to-win situation on the best of times. God, that was such a back and forth as well in the 2-on-2 as I think it was Ryu out of Secret who spotted the jiggling in heaven, only for the peak to come through for Satime, who absolutely just deletes him afterwards. Info wasn't enough in that scenario. 6-4 for Nemesis on the T side. I think they'll be happy with the proceedings so far.
Yeah, and I think just the way that they're playing, I think is perhaps it feels a little bit difficult for Astralis. I think they're just, you know, a few key rounds when Nemesis, I think, really started to create problems with that very slow pacing. We saw that two-man push into the lobby from Astralis, and that didn't go their way. And I think since then, it's really felt like Nemesis have just been able to kind of repeat the results for the most part. Astralis now with a labored scenario on the buy. Spent everything, though, to have what they have. Ooh, oh, dear. There's a gun.
Where are you off to, son? Trying to change the pace again. Let's not forget the other rounds where they had those second waves of smokes outside. A faster pace immediately punished, and that a 5-7 at close range is doing God's work for Astralis. Ryu with all the four that remain. Nothing doing for Nemesis in that round.
Bruh. The 5-7, it's like the gun that can do those things. That's crazy. That's actually so nuts. Let's have a look again. 4K rushing through the smoke.
I'm not sure if he knew anything about the second one. He came in so fast. I know he did. I think he's just a gamer. He's just a gamer gaming. Beautiful. That's got to be so... Oh, there goes the camera. That's got to be so satisfying. There has to be a divot in that table now.
I don't know about your divots. Well, into the final round we go. Of what has felt like a very quiet Nuke, as you mentioned. Very quiet. It's like the library version of Nuke. Not allowed to talk too loudly or run anywhere, but here's a much faster approach, and they are getting shut down. Nemesis on the way in. Might be a very fast finish to this first half, and indeed it will be. 6-6 as Astralis tie us up as we head into the second half.
What in life kind of generally annoys you?
Nothing makes me like annoyed or mad.
I don't feel like I'm annoyed by anything and anyone kinda in my life, so I would say there is nothing at all.
Yeah, I wish I could teleport, you know, so I don't have to travel all the places, you know. That would be nice to teleport, you know.
My mousepad, when someone is touching it with like let's say a glass of water or something, and even my cat is jumping on it, I don't like it.
Generally in life, what just annoys me is just people. I just hate people.
What makes me really grumpy and annoyed is when people are in the plane, they're behind you, they want to exit quicker than you, so they just push you.
Obviously, people are in a hurry all the time in the airport, and then you just decide to stand in the middle of nowhere, looking at your phone, doing nothing, like that kind of stuff.
You will be out of the plane in 5 seconds more, but stop pushing everyone. Like everyone, you know, just stands up and are just so focused on getting out of the plane while they still have to wait anyway a bit. So it's not like they're gonna be those 10 seconds that's gonna make you win in life. So just chill, mate.
If I have like early flight like 6 AM or something, try to go to sleep, but you know, I have to wake up with 3 hours of sleep, and the whole day feels like ruined because you have to wake up early, and then yeah, you're like in the zombie mode the whole day pretty much.
Some of the most annoying is obviously losing your luggage.
I think more than I have fingers on my hand, to be honest. I think I have lost it too many times in my career.
Definitely had it been delayed like for media days and stuff, and then I didn't have like jerseys and stuff with me, so I have to use the same jersey for like 6 days, and it becomes pretty nasty in the end. So I would rather travel to a place that is too hot. I hate cold.
If it's a little bit colder, I usually don't mind it, but if it's plus extra wine, then oof, I don't like it.
I think the coldest location so far has been Sweden compared to Denmark. It's like pretty much the same, but that doesn't mean that I like it. So I stay inside. That's why I became good at playing video games.
It's pretty cold where I live already, so unless it's somewhere, then there's not that warm where I live, so I like to travel where it's warm weather.
So when it's too hot, when we've been, for example, to like Riyadh for EWC, like it's oven outside. It's like 45 degrees minimum. It's not possible to breathe or whatever. I've been to places at -10, -20, -25. That was not a pleasure to be there, but that was a bit easier if you have good clothing for that, so I would say that. Let's be honest, media days are really annoying.
I had several times that I went for 3 hours of media, and then I was doing only things for maybe 20 minutes, you know. It's not like media is making me mad. I feel like this wasting of time is maybe taking me a little bit off the edge, you know, there.
It's normal, they have to ask basic questions, but it's always the same question. How do you feel about the game? Why did you win this map? Why do you feel like that's wrong? Why you won 4 events in a row? Blah, 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 blah. It's always the same question, so sometimes it's been a bit boring.
After you've done it like 50 times, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, we just do it again, you know, like cross your arms, take a photo, sure. Like, so yeah.
Doing media is like, come on, please, leave me alone. You know everything about me now. It's over.
No, Apex, I want to learn more about your life. However, we need to learn more about this game, James, because we could be learning about Nemesis firsthand. They have the position with a start like that to potentially be, upsetting Astralis, maybe taking us all the way to cash. I think a lot of people want to see that. But first, of course, comes this second half on map 1, as we now see Nemesis on the CT side.
3 of the Nemesis players are auto-muted, I noticed. I'm surprised I'm not auto-muted, to be honest. But, if they deliver, then maybe they don't deserve it. So far, so good as they find the first 2 frags here on this pistol round, which would be a great way to start things on their CT side. 4 on 3. As Fuzi keeps an eye on things outside. Fuzi, Yabi and Ryu remain still in control of the bomb in the hands of Yabi. And again, it's all quiet on Nuke, as it has been in many a round in this game so far. And the CTs will just hold their position and wait for Astralis to make their play.
Maybe Astralis are getting revenge here, you know, really slowing things down. Seeing if they can catch any players creeping around themselves for an easy pick-off. But Nemesis, to their credit, haven't given anything away. And so now Astralis have to, by nature of the clock, move things forward to, hopefully for their sake, get onto a bomb plant. Nice crossfire, though, from the Nemesis side. Beautiful team play. You love to see that. And that's going to be a clean finish for the pistol for them.
Yeah, really nice work. Good synergy from Nemesis. Just making things as difficult as possible for Astralis to succeed with what they were left with. 11 kills for Ryu so far. Magic Key not too far behind now with 10. It's been a quiet game for Texi so far, who is 2-4-7. Worst hand in poker is what he is holding. Astralis' numbers on the T side, not promising for Nuke historically, but you know, today is a new day, people. It's a new page. The ink is not dry just yet.
You've seen the damage the pistols can do. Swinging around into main, finding one and traded out though. CT's on high alert in the upper bomb side at the moment. Astralis finding their way around. Might be another frag outside here. Getting around onto Magic Keys. Very nice, but staying able to do better than that than just a trade. But you know, it's going to leave just Yabi now alone in the 1 versus 3. Some extra damage would be really nice. That could go a long way for Yabi if he can find it. But not looking all that promising at the moment.
He's been heard now as well. Heard and dealt with by Result. And it feels strong already. Maybe I'm just biased because of the numbers are so incredibly good for Nemesis on Nuke. But it feels like they're in a very, very strong position. I think maybe compounded by the statistics we saw on the screen there about Astralis on the T side of Nuke also. But I think Nemesis have all the tools to run away with the first game of this series now.
Yeah, I do agree. I think, was it that made this point? That just the grind factor for the Nemesis side, they've been absolutely grinding games, a lot more games played, so it does make a difference in what you feel comfortable and falling back to in terms of those fundamentals. And Magic Key with his deep position, with the MP9 looking to make some money, and there we go, first kill found, looking for more, turning the corner there, players all over the place. And able to take down another. Oh my god, sent flying off the silo. Celta with the support, with the backup.
From the angle, it looked like a circus trick gone wrong, you know. He won't be back in Cirque du Soleil anytime soon.
Oh yeah.
No damage done by Hooksy. And this is a very solid way to start your CT side. Astralis coming in for the buy Magic. He's got almost $9,000 in the bank. I guess he can make up for Celta being a little short, but the average is probably about 5 to 6. So a full buy in the hole for Nemesis. They'll be coming into this next round of no complaints whatsoever. 9 to 6 scoreline as Astralis look to find a way into this half. Fuzi will have the AWP. They'll have a reasonable level of utility. Question is, what can they do with it?
Outside smokes, so far providing the coverage necessary. There's an HE though to try to get some info, see if they can find any crossed players. I mean, that's the thing though that's so effective about these smokes, is that you have to make the assumption you might miss some of the info even still, and the smokes go out again as Yabi gets that pick there in the lobby, and suddenly things look a little bit chaotic here for Nemesis. They need somebody to step up and deliver heroics. Celta with 1 kill there might be such a player to do so.
Oh, so Dime's been dropped. That's going to be a big problem, which Hooksy could compound with this angle, but Texi's ready for it. A swing and a miss at close range from Fuzi, and things start to collapse very quickly. Maybe Ryu can do something about it, down to a 2-on-2 now. However, they have lost a bomb in secret, and that's going to be a problem. That's going to burn time for them. Yabi spotted. Only 1 question mark in Ryu now for this CT squad. So they continue to run that clock down and run the numbers down as well.
Ooh, looking very dangerous. I mean, a doable scenario though for Ryu. We'll see as he now edges closer. He is going to be able to guess correctly here. He looks like he's got a good guess. Great work there, looking for the transfer onto a trade fragger, but there's no time, I don't think, for this one. And playing the clock, Magic Key is going to be able to get the better of Ryu, so very well played there. 10-6 Nemesis, looking like they might just clean up here on this CT side for map 1.
Yeah, Astralis just couldn't keep a grip on that climb. Sliding back down the pole there. Everything collapsing around that garage in secret position. Such an awkward range for the AWP, but still, like, you don't land that shot and you are a sitting duck. 10 rounds now for Nemesis, and again, no bomb plants as well. Like, your loss bonus is high, but you're still not planting the bomb. Really just compounds the problems. So they are well and truly in the driving seat, Nemesis. Even with that player lost, you may still favor them in this one. I certainly do.
Scaling onto the site very rapidly. Taxi's going to be pushed as he is going to get wrapped there. Fuzi able to take him down, and so speaking of a lack of bomb plants, should be quite possible for Fuzi to get the plant down here now, as he does have coverage from teammates. 3 players for Nemesis. Decent money. They could certainly try to go for this.
It's a tough decision, I think. Do you play for the long run with your economy, or do you go for something sneaky? Well, a calculated risk with Sadime, who will be dropped, and that'll be that, I think. Looking to make it expensive for the T side, actually, and they have done that very well indeed, keeping them on the back foot.
Terrorists win. Now there's no uncertainty that you might die to the bomb. I guess you know.
It's so different now.
You play the game enough, you'll know.
Yeah, I think they had to have an indicator with how it works now, because otherwise you would think something makes sense and it might not.
Right.
Very different now. But it's also pretty cool that they're taking a wide look at like every single detail of the game and like what other states could this thing be in. But anyway, this is a buy round. We've got some forward positions from Nemesis early as Astralis try to understand the formation. Magic Key somehow escapes that scenario. I think a lot of the time he doesn't, and Astralis could really do with that frag in a 7-10 scenario here. Not on this occasion though, but he will take the map control. Oh, that's another sitter. He should get that one all day. And now they've still got 5 standing as they open doors onto the bomb site, but he'll find Yabi elsewhere.
Minute to go, and we do get a play into lobby from Nemesis, asking questions. They actually have good positioning to get ahead of this play from Astralis. If they commit to the lower site, will Astralis do so? Hooksy gets found out going through main there, and Nemesis all over this one on the defense. 4 versus 2 now for them, as Astralis are now in a more desperate state. Fuzi does have the bomb, and maybe there's a chance to get this plant up a bit. With Taxi up in the heaven position, Rafters is going to shut that one down completely.
29 seconds for Stair to find a solution. But Magic Key has recovered from his earlier errors and delivered a number of AWP frags there, which have been really important. God, those were awkward, like around events scenario. Oh, he just, okay, I can't blame him for that one. The T stops at the absolute perfect pixel. 11-7 for Nemesis. We've got a good buy here for Astralis. This will be a competitive round, but they are running out of rounds to lose in this second half.
Yeah, Nemesis looking quite comfortable. I just liked how they found good timings in that previous round to get aggressive on this CT side. Speaking of which, Stag is going to be very close to these outside position. Coverage of smokes is what allows even more forward position, going straight through credit card. And nice pickup here. Outside is being cleaned up. And now it's starting to, I think Nemesis is starting to feel the squeeze.
Promising start for Astralis, but we've seen promising starts where they haven't delivered on the promise of those in this half. Some sound cues for Nemesis, but really they, with so many Astralis players alive, they need to wait for them to make the wrong turn. Yabi ready with the Mac 10, and then there were two. Both on the A-bomb side. Fuzi over towards B. And this will be an 8th round, as there's not much for Nemesis to pursue here, other than better money for their players who have been lost. Celta will need a drop.
So Astralis not done just yet on Nuke, it would seem.
This is only their second round in this half.
Yeah, it's not been a great run so far. It's not been a great run. Yeah, Ryu's really been delivering for their side. You know, we've been seeing a lot of those key kills coming through.
Terrorists win.
Magic Key on the other end there for Nemesis. 21 and 11, really showing up there for the team. I like their logo. I don't know what it is, but I like it. No comment at all, James. Gee, I saw you looking at it and you just didn't say anything.
I was going to say something and then I decided not to, and I'm just going to leave it there. 2 defuse kits for Nemesis in round 20. Texi keeping an honest eye on things. Trying to limit risk. I really wonder how Valve made that sound. What is that sound?
Which sound?
The sound of him jumping.
Oh.
Like, what is that? It sounds like two materials being rubbed together.
Oh, you think they got a Foley artist on the case?
Well, yeah, you know, some kind of, I don't know what I forget what they're called, but...
Foley artist, that's what they're called.
A Foley artist?
Yeah.
Oh.
The person who like makes the sounds out of the random things. Yeah, Foley artist.
There's other game devs who have made videos showing how certain sounds are made, but Valve keep their cards close to their chest. Magic Key keeps his orb close to the chest of many an Astralis player. Although for their loss outside, Yabi's managed to find some progress inside as ramp has been taken over now. And that will force some rotation from some of these Nemesis players. 35 seconds for Astralis to try and get a bomb plant. We have not seen many in this half. They've only planted a bomb in the rounds they've won, actually.
Makes sense. Seems logical. Time is a problem here. 15 seconds to plant. Happy coming on in from up high. Nice trade, though. That's a massive find from Magic Key, and there's no time for this now. The bomb has been lost. And, you know, once again, in one of these very slow rounds, you know, all the cards are on the table right at the end there. It doesn't really pay off there for Astralis and now Nemesis 12-8. Very soon to be looking at finding themselves on Ancient if things continue this way.
Yeah, it's been a tiring half for Astralis.
Yeah.
And again, if you measure their progress in these rounds, even in the bomb plants, it's very painful indeed. Magic having a wonderful time now. Just showing too much flesh. And the AWP is going to pick those up all day. All day. Not the position they were expecting him to be in. And he completely crushed around. 25 for 12 is Magic at present. No trade attempts. They were just trying to throw a molly into main. But here we are. Game point for Nemesis. Looking to improve on that 90% on Nuke. Such a rare stat to be in the 90s on a map in Counter-Strike. And again, when you talk about how much TS they're playing, one could argue it's even more impressive.
Well, here we go. We are in the what could be a final round here if Nemesis continuing winning ways. Stame is going straight into lobby. He's going deep with the AK-47. He's found a timing here. They are going very aggressive with the ramp crunch and lobby crunch. But it is more of an effort outside where Ryu will find a kill onto Magic, one of the, well, the key player. So far, 25 and 13, but now he's down, out for the counts. Is there a way back into this round for Nemesis?
Yep, you must have heard a bunch of players falling back from that lobby push. Sound maybe obscured by the Molotov they threw in the first place. But now you wonder if he can find an opportunity for them on this A-bomb site. Silencer spotted. Surely there is a kill just waiting for him. Indeed there is. And that'll be Nemesis in a very unlikely position now. Can't imagine they go for anything else in this round. So Diamond, Result have got crap money. And things maybe start to get tense now. Interesting play from Nemesis. Perhaps the wrong round to do it, but you have to credit Yabi to his position as well, not getting caught there in that lobby position while they found the frag outside.
Yeah, it's kind of unlucky in a way. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. You know, you take a risk on the opening play where you're going aggressive, and if the other team's doing something fast somewhere else, you're just going to miss them. And you know, in StarCraft, they would call that a build order loss, where you're opening because you know, you don't have information of what the other person's doing. You have the fog of war. So you know, you're just doing a blind opening basically, and sometimes it's just an auto loss.
Yeah, just have to accept that we zigged when we should have zagged. So Astralis are only 3 rounds away. And again, I think sports psychology is really important in scenarios like this where it's been such a difficult half. So you've just got to play the round in front of you. Not worry about the overall deficit, just stay hyper-focused on this. And again, we see lobby aggression from Nemesis. Been very comfortable with this. Magic's been so good. We'll see if he can hold this position. And his teammates need to stay alive elsewhere as well. A lot of presence from Astralis on the outside. 3 players heading towards T-Red, slowly but surely, as they deploy their smokes. And Celta's not well positioned to really do something about it. With the MP9 from Secret, can't really duel too much. Result and Sadime get dropped in stereo fashion as well. So despite the forward position of Magic, it's a really bad looking round for Nemesis.
Yeah, and the money is such that they need to, I mean, unless there's some incredible fight that kind of gets in a place in front of them, they need to be thinking about optimizing around how they can save these guns, especially the key AWP. This the beginning of this round just really did not pan out as they needed it to. And Astralis are looking dangerous. Still Fusey with the bomb looking for all the plants. But the upper bomb site is where Nemesis would love to fight if there is to be a fight. They would fight you there.
Hooksy's maybe the information man looking for safe passage now as he investigates towards B, because you don't want to move into a stack, and he has found B unchallenged, and that is where the bomb will head. Great work there, good focus by Astralis, not making any sloppy decisions. That bomb makes its way over. So Nemesis finally on the back foot late on in this game of Nuke. And again, losing a few chess pieces. And the rest of the game will be conceded for the round, as they'll need something to fight with for the next one. But we've seen, I think, maybe at least 3 rounds where Nemesis have gone for aggressive plays towards the lobby. And it hasn't been the right round. They haven't been too deterred, though, throwing different looks at it. The rifle push, the sniper push. So we'll see if they continue with that. Because I think they've, from their perspective, they may have just been unlucky on the rounds where they've chosen to do that.
Oof. Might get overtime now at this rate, James, as well, because for Nemesis, you know, maybe they are thinking of saving here, so they can actually have like one really solid proper buy to just end the game, as opposed to
they lost all their bits. They lost all their bits. While we were talking about their bits,
all their bits
no
and
more
bobs.
bits. They are bitless.
Bits and bobs. Yeah, it's all gone. It's been an interesting game from a stylistic perspective. I think that's always something that's interesting to think about when it comes to Counter-Strike, or really anything competitive, is the interaction styles. And I think that is some of the danger that a team like Nemesis presents, because I don't know how much Astralis is playing against Nemesis, you know, how much they're going to have in terms of record against them and familiarity against how they're playing the game. And you know, this is the first head-to-head that they have had historically. So there you go. I guess I just answered my own question.
4 of the last 6 rounds won by Astralis. They have turned the ship around.
Lobby control. They're going to go for a quick upper hit here. This is not going to look good for Nemesis. They don't have anyone really to stop this. They're going to have to play full retake.
Yeah, good luck with that retake. Astralis keeping it very simple. Simple and effective.
Wow.
So we are heading towards that last round.
And it's kind of cool too, because, you know, what do you, if you're making the calculus and you're thinking, okay, where do we think the pistols will stack? Because oftentimes, you know, that's one of the most scary things. That's one of the ways you can lose a round like this, is the pistols all stacking in one position. Upper is definitely in the calculus there as a pretty strong chance. You know, upper or ramp, these are pretty familiar places to stack a pistol by. Or yeah, so definitely, I agree. Decisive, brave from Astralis to just no nonsense hit the upper site.
Terrorists win.
Wait, Hooksy died to the bomb, James.
That's fine. He's got the money. Doesn't matter. Last round coming up. 9K in the bank. Hooksy's happy with that. Securing the round at all costs. He's a hero. So we'll have one last buy for Nemesis to try and close things out on their pick of Nuke in normal time, in regulation, if you will. Magic Key's been on 25 for a little while now. Has been a lot of the firepower for Nemesis has been very effective in more than one round. And again, Nemesis has been throwing aggressive plays at lobby, but each time they haven't quite found what they've been looking for. Astralis with presence on the outside. Yabby, good positioning by Squeaky. We'll see if they take one last stab at such a play, or if they'll go for something different.
Yeah, we go getting into it. We'll find out if there's an overtime to be had here. See if Nemesis can clinch it.
Nemesis.
Yes.
Maybe they're fans of Resident Evil.
Oh man, I never really played the Resident Evil games.
Nemesis and his rocket launcher.
Shameful.
I got stuck in the first one. I got stuck in a room where I had no herbs, and every time I left the room, a hunter chopped my head off.
What
and that was it. That was my only game save, so that was just it. I tried for months to leave that room, and I just got decapitated every time.
What are the herbs for in Resident Evil?
For healing your health.
Okay.
So I couldn't tank the damage, so my head just came off every time. PlayStation 1 days.
I do miss like those days. We'll have to talk about that another time, like the way saves would work in the old days. No checkpoints, just save on 1 HP somewhere. Anyway, we are into what could be the last round of regulation. Oh, rather, sorry, until we get to overtime. I'm not sure that made any sense, but you know, whatever, James. I'm just trying to make it work. Now we've got Stair making progress around the outside again. There's a quick flash play. Oh, timing there is beautiful. What a pop flash there from Stame for Celta.
So it looks like the lobby aggression stopped. Magic Key heading to the ramp on that occasion. I'm not sure how many players, maybe one more spotted outside. Celta in a better position to defend now. Doesn't have an MP9 this time. Oh, stuck. Is he stuck against the wall? Oh dear, still alive, still alive. That's a problem. Oh, the timing is just not what you need when there's only this round left in the game. 3 remain for Astralis now. Aster and Ryu are dropped outside.
Okay, so desperate right at the last round of regulation. Absolute desperation now for Astralis, looking to find a way forward. Good positions from Celta again, just really so annoying outside, and now Fuzi's going to commit into another 1v1 against him. Nice flick, even connects the headshot. However, now down to Fuzi against the world. 4 players, 50 seconds. Not looking good here for Astralis on map 1. Fuzi forced to move into the flames, and there it is, the wide swing from results, and the map there for Nemesis.
So close and yet so far for Astralis. A great comeback mounted towards the second half, but ultimately it will be Nemesis to take their map pick.
Well, it might have got close, but it was just a cosmetic comeback at the very end of it all, because I don't know, we got to just quickly talk about this last round of VOD
series, but hey, it is Astralis with their backs to the wall now. I mean, I think again with those stats, most people are expecting Nemesis to win that, but I think the way in which they won it, or perhaps more the way in which Astralis lost it, has left a total lack of confidence for VOD in Astralis at this point. So let's see if they can turn things around and reignite whatever he thinks has been extinguished within that map of Nuke. They'll start on the T side with Astralis, making inroads towards B, where there will be 3 CTs lying in wait.
Yes, they may go to meet this. Meeting of the minds. Oh dear. Goodbye to the dualies. Magic Key is dead. He had a great first map, but now unable to perform in this pistol. Stuck watching his teammates. Result though, good perspective to watch. Very nice kills coming in on this defense of the B sites. Just can't quite seem to connect these kills here, Astralis, and maybe Fuzi is able to have a life of a game. Maybe now is the moment to see that in this 1v3 clutch situation. Does it the bomb as well. Minute to go, and nothing given. Nemesis do seem very disciplined in these scenarios.
See, he's looking for the trade fragger. There's just too many men up for Nemesis. Still unknown where the other 2 are. He's got time to cut noise once again. Now we see a second CT darting over. Better keep your gun out when Mata Texi is absolutely ready. I think you really need your knife out in a pistol round. But that was too difficult a challenge there for Fuzi, and Nemesis will start as they mean to go on.
Yeah, I mean, looks really good. I do love, again, the discipline from Nemesis, because it really goes to show that when they're in these advantageous scenarios with the numbers and the opponent has to move into them, they do really make it as hard as possible for the opponent. And that's stuff that you have to really grind into the fundamentals, practice after practice. It's not a fun thing to grind, but it is absolutely a must fundamental to have if you want to perform at the top level. And Now we're going to have to see how this next round goes, though, because these pistols are dangerous. Magic Key back into the action. The A side is under attack, but they're getting whittled down.
Comfortable for Nemesis.
Comfy.
Oh, okay. Yabby's got something to say. That's pretty good. More than you can ask for, I think.
It's aesthetic.
The
James.
bomb plant has got to be the minimum goal there, but that's a pretty good bonus.
Yeah, it's a feast for the eyes.
Something to build on. Keep the CT spending as you look for your first round. Very important to do that.
It's dopamine. That is just pure dopamine right there.
I feel like Dopamine would be a good nickname. Like, if you could choose your nickname again, would you choose Dopamine?
No, I would not. Would you?
What would you choose then?
I don't know. That's kind of the problem. That's why I ended up with my initials, James. I feel like this problem still persists.
Heavy presence towards B in round 3. There is a hero rifle here in the hands of Yabby. Better find something with it soon before his teammates leave the server for this round. And as I say that, they will all make their exit. Now Yabby's got a minute 20 to do what he can. Tagged through the wall. He knows where 2 of the 4 players are. Smoked off the choke points. Bomb collected. Again, a question of doing as much damage as possible before he is put to the sword. But he'll have to wait first.
Yeah, nothing much doing right now. Again, it would be great to get something equivalent of those 2 kills from the previous round. Yeah, B was in that previous scenario with the Deagle. See what he can find. Again, this is exactly what I was saying about the discipline. I mean, even though they're 4v1, everyone is just fully disciplined. It's just a rehearsed a way to play these advantages, and you love to see it. Again, it's not the most entertaining version of the game, but it is the most effective, and it's the kind of stuff that gets you to the upper echelons. You know, Dopamine also a title of a song from a famous beatboxer. I've been getting into the beatbox community lately.
Okay.
It's kind of insane how good it is. Last time I checked in 20 years ago. Like, they've made progress, but...
Fuzi's got the AWP in round 4. So, this is the second Ancient we've seen today. And generally seen as CTs be somewhat risk-averse in that mid position. But of course, you'd have to change up your setup and maybe turn the screw in that mid position sometimes. But for now, Astralis will have some map control. Fuzi he's got a bomb as well, waiting towards B. I was watching him on the radar. Magic Key curious for information. Fuzi positioned really well. So maybe the bomb was spotted there in that engagement. But it is Nemesis who loses a man early.
Yeah, it's a really great pick to get, and given that Nemesis are playing very defensively, they've kind of traded off information for that, and so they're going to be put into a scenario now where they're just stacking the B side, which I think is so reasonable given the fact that they just don't have info. So they at least can keep players alive this way, or have a good fight for a site should the push had come to them, but yeah, that's kind of the nature of the beast when you make an approach like that. And I don't hate it as well, because it also gives them some information. By playing passively, you know, what is our opponent doing? Because sometimes when you go for an opening, if it's an aggressive mid-opening, and the opponent's trying to play fast timings, you might get caught off guard and just lose the round outright that way and lose players. So you get to see kind of, okay, what kind of pacing does Astralis want to start out with on this T side? Definitely it was a slower pace. We saw the positioning there of Fuzi as well with the AWP from the doors. outside of B. So definitely some information for Nemesis to pick up early.
Yeah, they're running a tight ship on Nemesis with, in terms of risk, as you mentioned towards the end of the previous round, just accepting the round loss and keeping the numbers up in this one. Very efficient. So both teams will have an AWP into the next round. But I'm always curious to watch at the beginning of all these rounds how the CT approach changes in terms of how they use people in mid. Be it a quick exit towards donuts or committing all the way, we'll see.
I'm also a big fan too of giving your opponent as little kills as is possible, even when you're losing rounds. I think that's really nice because it makes the game feel harder, just psychologically for the team that's winning the rounds, but they're never really getting many fights. And you know, when it comes to the point where Nemesis are looking to take fights, if they end up winning those fights, it then kind of that like in a narrative, it just feels like you're playing a much harder game if you're from Astralis's perspective, because you're not getting the kills with the frequency you might be getting in an average game. So I kind of like that. But we'll see if that kind of continues here as we are in this tech pause at the moment. And I'm kind of curious what Nemesis will do here, James, because in the previous round they really gave up a lot of the map, and I'm generally not a fan of that, but that's what they decided to do. So will they do that again? Is that the general approach? Or are we going to see mid pressure? Are we going to see pressure outside of B? You know, these more typical things.
Well then, let's see how both teams open in round 5. The pick of Astralis, 67%, but that's only with 3 maps played of late, so it's kind of a non-percentage, really. Can't read anything into that one. Fuzi's got a nice angle, but the utility is such that he won't find anything. Texi certainly will, though. Narrow margins there in mid. Fuzi holding for a long time. I'm surprised he didn't get rewarded, but such is life.
Yeah, good rotate out from Nemesis as well off of that initial mid contact. Covering their bases towards A. And Astralis, they lost a player. They don't want to mess around at this point. They're going to hit this B site. They would love Fuzi to be able to get a pick here, but I don't know that Magic Key's going to be challenging that angle.
Good stuff from Magic Key, but unable to survive. And there's Delta being punished as well. Trying to respond to the losses will increase the losses. See Ryu trying to take over the A bomb site now. I think Texi may have something to say about that, but his team are rotating with him. So if he could get a pick here, that would be really interesting in what Astralis would choose to do. They're kind of stuck in that donut position with the bomb now, but Ryu's still alive and long, and he's dropped a dime. So they're going to try and force their way through the smoke, and they'll do exactly that. Awkward towards the end there for Astralis. But they're still standing with 4.
I got to say, Texi really made me a believer in that position, that he could have performed something pretty big in that moment. Obviously, like you say, if he gets that A main player, that's hell for the donut players at that point. That's very difficult. Now, Astralis, though, they do pick up the round. Also, despite losing that initial player in mid, I mean, you know, like we saw that set up, the pop flash there to deal with Magic Keys. They seem to have a very, very good sense as to what they were looking for with that pop flash play. Absolutely outplayed Magic Key with that. What is this smoke, by the way? After the bomb goes off, it feels like a like an asthma hazard or something.
Oh, don't talk to me about asthma hazard. Maybe it relates to the change from yesterday, where if there's a smoke up, it kind of breaks the smoke. If there's a molly or fire, it extinguishes that. So maybe it's just a kick up of dust or something. I'm not sure what I think of that part of it. But anyway, we can look at more of that later if people keep planting the bomb. Fuzi again looking for an entry. Oh, the flash is so picture perfect. He will still deliver, but there will be a trade.
Yeah, really good to have that control outside the cave, but creeping is Yabi, and oh my! Okay, yeah, more than discovered. He's been fragged as well, and that does force a response from Astralis into the A site. Hooksy does have the bomb, so he's going to be able to get that one soon to a plant. Celta on the other end with an MP9 might actually feel brave with an MP9 to potentially go beyond the smoke. HE comes in. Also, Stame is coming from Donut. Util is providing great coverage, though, for the bomb to go down.
Pop flash from Result, looking for a late lurker in that mid position, but there is none. He'll join Stime then as they move in from that donut position. The utility keeps on coming. That's a great quick scope from Fuzi, though. And then there were 3. A kit on Stime only. Don't need to focus on that. Someone needs to get on the bomb. It better be him. Only him and Celta now remaining, as Celta will find an angle. Stime on that bomb with that kit. So many smokes up, body blocking as well. And this might just work out for them. Indeed it will. Robbery of a round as we're down to the pistols. We'll see if anyone survives.
Wow. That's one of the few times where I feel like the body block, I feel like legit saved the diffuser. It absorbed like a good, like at least half of those bullets. Get another look at that one on the chaos of the A sites. Great work there by Nemesis to rescue that one. Now that's a 4-2 scoreline. However, the buys are not going to stop coming from Astralis. They still have plenty of cash to go and get a full buy-in with. And for Nemesis, you know, they don't have an AWP, which is kind of unfortunate. You can see Magic-E, I think, has been struggling to kind of get into this game of Ancients so far, but will be on the M4 in this round.
With two MP9s, I wonder how they will choose to utilize those. There are some potential aggressive plays to be made. So one of those MP9s will be in mid. Actually, they'll both be in mid. So they're gonna swing as well. Oh, sorry, no, Result is not in mid. Either way, they're all on the floor now, apart from Magic-E. How about that? Scorched Earth. That's such a big round for Astralis. Lightning fast. And that's what can happen when you choose to take those fights, especially in that mid position and around it, through B and such. So yeah, I think the 2 MP9s maybe did prompt some hyper-aggression from Nemesis. However, things have not gone in their favor.
Yeah, it might just be a whole lot of nothing now. I mean, Magic-E is upgraded to an AK. Is he going to try to find more fights? That's another headshot. Definitely helps if you can get more kills, but getting a bit weak himself on HP, and Hooksy finishes him off. So no AK for you, sir. Okay, 3-4 then, with Astralis picking up that round. I feel like we've had a lot of very close first halves. I think like 6-6, 6-6 today. And maybe this game will show the same thing too.
Great position for Stair to punish. Yeah, proving difficult in that mid position. Astralis absolutely ready. And this could open the remainder of the half. Could blow it wide open for Astralis. Plenty of opportunity, which they must seize, all things considered, if they want to see a deciding map of cash. Then here is where they will rack up those rounds.
Yeah, Force 5. The HEs have done significant damage to Astralis. 2 players like Stair and Hooksy are not healthy anymore. So these pistols and MP9s, etc., can definitely do some good work. If the circumstances are correct, of course. And Astralis, I mean, really posturing for a hit onto the B site. I don't think there's anything that's going to happen to give them an argument to not go to B, unless they just decided right now to full team rotate. And I don't know why they would decide to do that. This is obviously kind of nice. They don't know it, but only 2 players here. Banana 5-7. So it is a good luck charm.
That's all the nades on the B bomb site. As you see, the smoke's being replenished on long A. But the ordnance will come in from Astralis over towards B, and the threat will be neutralized. Not sure what Celta can do from the wrong side of this smoke grenade. Indeed, he'll just have to fall back. So Astralis will find themselves in the driving seat. Nice to see an AWP lightning as well. Don't see those very often. Cadian wielded one for a very long time. One thing you never see though is the AWP Medusa, which I think is underrated and needs to make a comeback. You know, if you're a connoisseur, if you're a classy Counter-Strike pro, and get yourself a Medusa or a Prince, and you'll have my approval. Nemesis will be struggling for the foreseeable future here on Ancient. 54% for Nemesis with 13 maps played. Much bigger sample size than the few for Astralis, so leaves some question marks as to how strong they may be in the vacuum of this match, Astralis on Ancients. But they're definitely in a position with lots of potential right now.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I'm curious how Nemesis might try to solve mid, because that seems to be something that's been a bit more tricky for them. I think it's something you know, where Astralis have managed to gain quite a lot of edge in this game so far. Obviously, it's just pistols at the moment here. You know, Nemesis will have to be quite creative to do all that much, and Astralis have also been quite discerning, deliberate in these anti-eco rounds. Anti-force buys. Oh, hooks, he could get caught potentially. Mac-10 comes out in time. Yeah, the Mac-10 is the gun to deal with that kind of those shenanigans. So not too much to say here then for Nemesis. Or what say you, James?
Yeah, I mean, really, you're just waiting for their... This is time to think about the next buy round. Especially when most of your team are gone. But when you drop the bomb carrier, maybe you're like, oh, hold on a second. And then you get traded, and it's like, oh, yeah, back to the next round. So just focusing on, you know, thinking about, like, replaying the previous rounds, how the opponent's engaging in that mid position. We see Astralis bouncing mollies off the wall, so Nemesis can't stand a round donut and kind of fade away, you know, which could be a nice position to drop someone and fall back from. So if they are they going to be conditioned to not challenge it? Are they going to find a way elsewhere to take an advantage? We'll see.
Well, there we go. Astralis take the lead for the first time in this game of Ancient. And for Nemesis, they are finally going to be able to buy up some rifles. I think one thing that's been a shame for them is that they've not really been able to get the AWP going so far. And they're not going to have enough money for that this time either, so... A glorious Mac-10-inch. Printing, money printing. So red smoke. Snake outside cave for control. Nemesis with a bit more counter utility, but not really committing to fights in mid.
Yeah, too safely in donuts, but again, avoiding the war of attrition people-wise. They're going to try and boost in this smoke. Oh, Her jumping off. And even a simple thing like that has proven so costly. And then there were two. There's like no notes for this round, just deletion.
Yeah. I was gonna say that Nemesis are, Nemesis are giving so much space. I think the mid control aspect of this game is really being problematic. It's a nice kill to Ryu, but it's gonna be at the end of the round. And you know, Astralis, to their credit, taking full advantage of this just lack of mid control. Astralis, you know, they wait a little bit for the initial util to kind of fade, and then they just walk up into red for free. And by the time that Nemesis get to fight them, it's kind of too late.
That really looks like they were unsure as to what to do.
Yeah.
Like with that boost and then just being punished for that one little sound cue. Nothing is for free in Counter-Strike. So things looking pretty bright for Astralis. With the prospect for a third map. Plenty more CS to be played though. Now that is a hell of a grenade.
Uh-oh, scary 5-7s. They're coming for you. Good deflection though from Yabi. He gets both actually. Just like that, there's not really all that much left here for Nemesis. Now they've been on pistols. It feels like forever. I don't like the last round they had a buy, but it kind of sucked. You know, no AWP. We're missing some util. It just feels like they've been impoverished.
I mean, Celta's got 2 frags here. You know, if you could give them like a certificate for achievement on Nuke, you could give them one for a lack of achievement on the CT side of Ancients. Mid has been such a big issue.
Do you have a certificate of a lack of achievement?
No. But I don't know, maybe there was a period of time where I should have received one. Perhaps when I was a kid, although perhaps that's unfair. Maybe we should hand them out.
Not really sure where to go with this, but hey, Celta gets a very nice headshot, peeking over the top of the box. But unable to get any more. Can Magicy find something? Well, he has absolutely found something there. This might be a chance. This might be a chance. Gets caught, though. And that's a text. He's found an AK, so definitely a bit dangerous. But look at that. Astralis all over it. Another kill there from Ryu, and 7-4 now the score. As it's looking like it might be one of the most, if not, I think the most dominant half that we have seen today.
Yeah, it feels that Nemesis are much further away than the score suggests. I was excited to see Magicy make it to that AWP in that last round, but Astralis were understood that could not happen. That could not be allowed. So one last-ditch attempt to offer a defense here on this first half for the CT side of Nemesis. They will not be challenged as we have a conga line going straight into the A bomb site here for Astralis, catching them completely out of position.
Yeah, I love the pace switch up from Astralis. It's going to really put Nemesis in a different position for this retake. They don't have much in the way of util, but they will get a couple kills. Celta, 2 through the smoke with the M4A1S is going to allow Nemesis to be off to a great start on this retake. I don't know if they even have a kit here. Oh, they've got 2 kits, speeding things up through Donut, and now Yabi, way too much lifting to do. And right at the end of the half, it's a switch up in pace from Nemesis, or rather from the Astralis side, that allows Nemesis back in.
Into the sniper, out from heaven. Hypex yet again with impact.
And now it has to be a clutch. The bomb, can it get planted?
Yeah, Snacks is gonna try to go for the spray, but it's off the mark. Now Flamesy's on for it. 1v2, offers his first target!
Oh!
And it's beautiful!
Oh, it stays safe by Flamesy. More pressure from G2 coming out long.
Yeah, and his teammates were just kind of shifting very, very far away, so reinforcements a long way off for Hooksy, but who needs it?
Yeah, great flashbang. Hooksy with a triple kill. Heavy got Mattis and Hunter all dead at Hooksy's hand as he goes again. Hooksy shutting them down. Long is completely closed by the Dane. And is FaZe about to fall?
The clash is going to come at the CC stairs. Now they're going to play for it behind this smoke with the pistols close up. They don't want to back off and give the rifles an advantage.
Oh, again. It's Heavy God again. The Tech 9 enters the kill feed. And that old familiar sting. FaZe Clan are going to lose the pistols unless Frozen and Twist, the OGs from FaZe Clan, looking to deliver some life. But the P250 goes down and Frozen! FaZe are in the game.
With the AWP recovered, you need to get the strongest weapons out next to it.
AK for Hunter stepping in, the line's dead. Oh, what? How has he done that? Hunter, that is something special out of the AK. That is just unreal. Feasting on his prey.
They break the smoke and Fallen still has a strong position. This could still get really weird.
Good.
Double pistol kill for Fallen, gets the upgrade, and there's still Keserato down in pit. They try to clear Yuri. 1 health is all the difference, and it does make a difference. 1v3 for Torsen as he takes the first kill. Might have another body in store. Fallen falls for information. And Torsen waits for Molodoy to make a move. So now that's the bomb down. This 1v4 ace for Torsen is on the line. Kinder plays, and Torsen fights. He finds all 5.
What a monster. Alexi B fighting him on, but Brokey's right here in the 4th round, and some hope left for FaZe Clan. Unless Wonderful can just rip it out. Oh! No way! And it's the inexperienced player up against Wonderful in FaZe's most important round.
Already feels like FaZe is knocked out walking.
Wonderful, so confident! Of course he's got it!
Yeah, trying to just be sneaky, hoping maybe that one opening kill moved the defense away. Didn't. ZywOo's gonna get hunted down with the AWP, but he's got a teammate. That's crazy. He's actually gotten all 4. Flamesy backs him up and steals every single kill. ZywOo.
And it's gonna fall onto Hypex now. It's time to run at this. 10 to the clock. 2 players in front of the bathrooms. Hypex shaves off one of the 3. 7 seconds, and it's all on Hypex now. Plays behind the dice with the no-scope. Oh! Beautiful flick shot up.
Man, talk about a hype package. Well, we'll need to see some hype from Nemesis in this second half. Didn't realize how important the pistol was for them. They won the first 3 rounds, then they lost all but 2, including that last round they defused. Everything else won by Astralis. A hell of a run, and it really did look dire. I think it'll be a relief for Nemesis that that first half is over. And again, with 5 rounds on the board, you see how crucial, how much they're leaning on that pistol round win to stay competitive at halftime.
Yeah, and if not for that switch up from Astralis and how they approached the round, I feel like, yeah, definitely Nemesis need a lot more. Magic Key teasing. P250 is a gun for this range. Can't quite find the head though. A few more licks at this one, but still nothing doing. Forced to go forward now. Nemesis looking for the opening, and finally they're going to get it in red.
It's a good opening for Nemesis. Yabi so patient. Lovely tap. Texi's able to trade, however. The bomb still safely in the hands of Nemesis as they smoke off the choke points towards 8, rotate the bomb over. Sadime increasing the problems here for Astralis, leaving Stair on a 1 versus 4, but not for long. He'll find another one, and that will be 3 for Steinman. Nemesis with the pistol. Again, so important that they won that first pistol to keep the score somewhat close. Now they win the second. Who knows what's possible?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it really looks like on the T side, it could really be a different story for Nemesis. You know, they get to dictate the pace more, take the initiative. With that said, the CT side, you can take the initiative pretty hardcore on this map as well. So we'll see what that dynamic looks like, especially around middle. And also around cave as well, obviously. Those players can connect up kind of nicely. Astralis sending the squad out of Donuts. Seeing what they can find. Texi looking to keep it honest. Sees all the players. That gives them all the info they need. Sadame up here, outside cave, is just baiting him to jump up. What? How did he get dinged? It's not a jumping dink, I don't know, but they'll only lose for assault, so nice conversion there for them, tying it up 7-7.
Well, very quick, very prompt here from Nemesis, getting their teeth sunk in early in the second half. One map to the good. Ancient, the pick of Astralis. Definitely built some confidence in that first half. They've got the guns now. Limited util, but maybe they've got enough. We'll see what the Astralis CT approach to mid is after we saw the challenges that Nemesis had to deal with. Fuzi with a huge send. And they'll lose the man each. But it is the CTs in control now. However, the A-bomb site has been heavily compromised. Oh, but the bomb carrier has been deleted by Fuzi. And that could change everything. Not going to hold that bomb position, but will reset elsewhere. Not what Nemesis were expecting. And they've got much work to do, but there's a bait and switch. Yabi continues to be an issue here. Sudaim can rescue the bomb, but can he rescue the round?
What a heroic play to take down the bomber that was supposed to be en route to the A site. Sudaim, I mean, this is a pretty horrendous scenario. I mean, you'd really love to get some extra damage in against the CT economy in this position, but I guess Sudaim's team can buy next round, potentially, so except him. So if he keeps the AK alive, that is a pretty good result, but he's about to walk into Ryu here, so not really a great outcome there for Sudaim. And there you go, Astralis bouncing back pretty much immediately on the first buy round, and we'll get a full buy coming out from Nemesis, although it will be lacking quite a bit. They're probably going to be forced into a site hit with this buy. But I can't help but get the feeling, James, that Astralis are about to take over the game completely.
Well, it's good that someone has confidence after Vu abandoned ship. Oh, timing. Magic key ready for stare, but Hooksy will trade. There are still aggressive positions here for Astralis. And they will neutralize the threat yet further, although there are other threats which are growing quite significantly, as you can see. Result in CT spawn so quickly as well. Turbo mode. Now Fuzi will hear the rotation through A long from the donut position, but does anyone check the spot? Look at the patience.
Oh,
is he ready for the second one? He is, and that might be that. Although, I mean, Fuzi's close enough that maybe he takes a stab at this.
Honestly, crazy rotation. So, getting it all done this round. And there you go. Fuzi goes down, and it's a round for Nemesis. That was just crazy. I think it was like 121 on the clock, and results like in CT spawn. That's so crazy. And I have to say, I can't believe the second player actually spots him. You'll see it here on the replay, I imagine. I believe it's Ryu is actually gonna check for him, which seems crazy. What a ton of events. The economy's kind of gone now for Astralis too.
Yeah, bumpy start, flat tire for Astralis early in the second half. But if your problems happen early, then you've got time to survive them. But first, you've got to go through it in a round such as this. Good spread from Nemesis in round 17. Again, with more interest towards A, it seems. Two players lurking with the bomb for now.
They killed the most problematic player, Yabi. He's been doing a lot of crazy stuff in this game, and he's dead, so it makes the round feel a little bit less scary for Nemesis.
Very carefully edging forward. But still eating some meaty deagle shots from Stair. Suddenly we'll have the CTs racing over. They've got a man advantage now. The sooner they can get there, they might even have some angles on this bomb plant. Magically trying to hold Donut, aware of that. This suddenly has become very risky. Nemesis carefully rotating over. Now that bomb is planted. 3-on-3, Texi dealing with one after another. Stair and Ryu remain. Maybe there's an exit frag. They can get a rifle to be collected, but that threat of losing the round has been neutralized.
3 dig headshots in this round. Honestly, it hurts because the money does suck. The money really does suck for Nemesis. So this really hurts, honestly. This is much more economic damage than they would have ever wanted to allow to have happened on a round like that. And they're going to be up against it. It's going to be a full buy here now coming up as we see the gloriousness of these digs again. Again, pure dopamine on these shots. And yeah, it's 9-8 now for Nemesis, but it's a full buy for Astralis. And if Nemesis are to lose this round, their money is completely reset in a very unfortunate timing of the map. So this round, James, it feels to me like it carries immense weight.
Yeah, this is a big buy for Astralis. Let's see what they can do with it. We've got some instant smokes for mid being lined up from CT spawn. From the Orpafuzi. Let's see if they can do what Nemesis struggled to do as that half developed and have a good hold at the beginning. Lots of HEs looking to catch rotation. Nothing doing in that regard. And it seems they will struggle as well. Just as Nemesis did, Astralis will have a very tough time. Shokanora in mid, 2 remain for Astralis. Orb still in the hands. But there aren't many people on the radio right now.
Nemesis need everybody to survive this. They're looking like they're in great position to have that be the outcome. But, I mean, what a recovery from the previous rounds, losing all those players to Stair. I mean, it could not really have gone better here, and especially in mid, where they've historically in this game so far had immense problems. But this round seems to be quite a different look in that respect, and I mean, it couldn't have come any later. If you look at the game state and how much weight was on this round. Okay, well, they found at least one of the 2 players. I mean, they've got to know that the other player is also nearby. They've got to imagine that this is exactly, you know, the situation. It's a save from the CTs. They've got to hold on to their guns, especially the Orb. I mean, maybe Vu's going to be right after all, James. I mean,
I know.
Moving to 10,
the pendulum of whether Vu's going to be right or wrong changes from round to round.
Yeah, yeah. I do love his tone, because he seems so like just like warm and like in his criticism, you know. So he's like a silent savage in that respect.
Nemesis with a recent win over Eyeballers. He will be playing FaZe tomorrow.
Yes, it's a fun one.
Terrorists win.
More griefing coming FaZe's way, maybe, after previous victories in the Bounty. Lots of Counter-Strike to come over the coming days. 10-8 in favor of Nemesis there. Looking
nice.
Really tough to defend mid today as a CT side.
Yeah.
Very challenging indeed. But Astralis will have a buy for this round. There'll be an MP9 for Yabi. The rest are better equipped.
Rezal has come up with some really good rounds. So that last one, the entries in mid, and then that round where he was in CT spawn somehow. Just teleported over there. And got a 3K as well. So Rezal, I feel like really turning up here. And I think to be honest, making the difference for Nemesis in terms of the individual factor, but look at Astralis right now. They're playing very passively here, James, and I think that's also in part because they really do want to get value from Fuzi. Fuzi gets smoked off.
Fuzi being real patient in that position. There we go. Got a lot of mileage out of that. 45 seconds on the clock. Now we see Fuzi moving up into that donut position. Great timing there as one door closes and they try to walk into another one. They are preyed upon.
It's interesting what Nemesis are doing here because they left the bomb outside of B. Okay, they are actually going to take the bomb to A after all. And 3 players for Astralis are still on the B side. Astralis not sure what to think of this. 15 seconds left.
Yeah, this is a slow one. And now Yabi will be raising the alarm that many a player is coming his way. But this clock is really running down. Is anyone going to check for him? He gets the cover first, but a bomb is going to get planted. Still in position. And now it's just a dime that remains. Can he provide a miracle here? Can he get past the AWP? That bomb is being defused. He's got to swing onto it if there is to be a chance, but there won't be on this occasion. Just a one-player loss there for Astralis. Very late in the day for Nemesis. I'm amazed that the bomb even got planted there.
Yeah, Yabi's position played to perfection with the MP9. Yeah, it's so difficult. Nemesis now, though, in with another buy, thanks to some of the previous success that they've had. And magically getting onto the AWP again. Astralis played quite passive in that round, not really giving too much in the way of openings. I really do wonder, what does Nemesis go with here? Because you know, speaking of pivotal rounds, like we're really in that territory where this is another extremely important one because the money has been spent pretty much entirely for, or as close to, for both teams. Because if Astralis is going to lose, obviously their reset bonus gets is starting from 0 again, so they're not going to really have enough for a full buy. And Nemesis, they're spending literally everything that they have. So Nemesis really need another big round from Result or somebody that can make the difference for them.
I love how uncertain this game is right now.
It really is. I still feel like Nemesis haven't shown us that they have solved the T side.
Man, things move quickly in this mid position. 2 red X's means that Nemesis are in trouble once again. Celta picking up the AWP, but there is no one to challenge in this mid position. Astralis scrambling over towards B, leaving Ryu alone in the A area. Fuzi not shy to take a forward position. He's got rifle support in tow as well. Great work holding the angle. Oh, he has been spotted there by Sadime.
Oh, gets baited. Oh my god. The bait backfires, James. They had the play. And let's not forget, he did critical damage to Ryu as well, down to 8 HP. And that suddenly just swings Nemesis back into a favorable position as they move towards A.
Yeah, that was a master plan, which did not quite work out. Seen a few close range swings and misses today with the AWP. Either way, 22 seconds, and it's Yabi again looking to stop a late plant. Oh, perfectly lined up. 14 seconds now. That bomb needs to get picked up in the smoke. That's part of the job done. Yabi's still alone on this bomb site. And he's found another one. Another 6 seconds. And he's done enough. Ryu will pick up the scraps, but my word, Yabi is a problem on that A bomb site.
That was painful to watch there. You know, Yabi with perfect positioning on killing the planter and then planting in exactly the same spot. And maybe there's that sense that when you're in the smoke that, you know, it's hard for them to know where you are, you know, and you don't know where your teammate died exactly, but Yabi causing problems in this game. I mean, he's been performing just incredibly well. 21 and 11, doing all the lifting for Astralis. And now we go into the next round, and they didn't even get the plant money, so this looks a little desperate. Tech9s, some nades, and look how aggressive Astralis are. They want to go deep for this against the pistols, James. Inadvisable, perhaps.
Merciless. There's a lot of nades coming their way. She might catch them off guard here. Oh, I love an M4A4 for some spray. Yabby here for support as well. Just trying to step on their necks here. But this war of attrition is going both ways. And they might be in a somewhat unlikely but winnable situation here. They're just quick enough on the trigger. Both low in health, both carrying M4s now. There is a chance of catastrophe here for Astralis. That will certainly help. Now Sadime is the last man standing, getting peppered by the USP, reveals his position. Low on bullets on the M4. Is there anything left in this round? The smokes won't be up forever, and he has found the kill. But through the smoke, revenge will come.
Really wild round. Really wild stuff there. Astralis, you know, getting aggressive against the pistols. To be honest, it's not a horrendous thing to do, because if you allow the Tech9s to rush the sites, that in of itself can be a lot more dangerous. So Astralis taking their chances, it pays off. 11 to 10, and Nemesis with really nothing except a hero AK in this round.
Oh my days, Dan. Someone has knifed Texi to 28 HP from his own team. That's just not helping stuff. And he's the grenade man as well. Imagine if he got naded and had one nade left, so they couldn't do their execute. Well, they found some way to make it onto the B-bomb site. That hero rifle's got to work here. And there may be a chance for some nonsense here from the Nemesis squad. They've got the bomb planted as well. Some of their team have been cut to ribbons now, and only the Glocks remain. But they finally got a bomb plant at the very least. Yeah. AK found, and they were lining up for a moment.
I saw it happening in my mind's eye, you know, getting both players to transfer across towards CT. And then we get like another Magix moment, like from the Major, the 4K spray down. But no. I've got an active imagination, James, it seems.
Yeah, he's heading towards a 30 bomb here. As Astralis find themselves at game points.
Seriously, someone give this man an award, a certificate. I know you like to give certificates. I learned this today.
I feel like if you wanted to define thorn in the side, you could run the highlight package of Yabby in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, without his performance, there's no way Astralis win this game. But I mean, it's not over just yet. Nemesis looking to keep the cave control a bit more honest. They've had problems with players just darting out of this position with the CT smoke and then just like punishing the mid aggressions. That's been a big problem for Nemesis. Well, they're going for the A here, and it's like Astralis just know what's going on.
Is this heard by Yabby? Must be. Holding donut for the retake. Oh dear. I said retake, but what on earth? Just wiping the floor with Nemesis on the A-bomb site to secure Ancients. Over to the desk.
Well, it certainly wasn't easy, but Astralis managed to get the job done. It was touch and go.
See how that one plays out. We'll be starting very soon indeed here on Cash. So yeah, I mean, it is pretty much the same layouts that we had before. Of course, the utility works in slightly different ways, but it'll be really fun to sink our teeth into Cash after such a long time now.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, some slightly different timings here and there, or maybe off the spawns, but yeah, it's going to be very, very cool to see also how the new kind of smokes of CS2 will allow for some more tactical options. But right off the bat, Nemesis on this T side, looking to get some love through A main onto the site, and at the same time, the bomb. It's all a ruse, James. In comes the bomb, and they've absolutely deleted 2 players out of the vent room, and they'll be onto a quick plant of B.
Yeah, that's a painful start. Hard to make your way back in. Not 1 but 2 headshots for Stare, thanks to the Glocks. Oh, we're going to go for the run boost as well. Oh, they failed it! They failed it in front of the whole world. I saw that, so did you. Man, you hate it when that happens, but I love that they're getting cracking with all the different things here. So I'm not sure what there is to pursue. I mean, Yabi really could try to save his Kevlar at that point. I think that's all he had going for him in that round. But that was a promising prompt one from Nemesis.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I'll say too about this map, and I think another reason I like it a lot, is that Cache is always a map that has had like a lot of like very interesting evolutions around the meta in terms of how you're taking mid and how you're setting up for sites, and the level of tactics was always very interesting. But at the same time, you've got all these really awesome open channels for duels, so that the individual level also very prevalent. Also for AWPers too, it produced a lot of great moments. So it gives you a bit of everything, I feel.
There's one notable thing which has changed on Cache, which is over towards the B bomb site. Oh, the USPs are open? Hold on a second. I thought this was a USP round. They've got 3 frags. What in the blazes is happening? Are they going to win this round? They've got 4. Yabi's in a 1v1. What? Excuse me?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I mean, it makes sense that Yabi's the man to finish it off with 2 clean headshots there with the USPs. But I don't think that you're ever expecting the USPs to be able to hold like that. But so they will. So it has been done.
Oh my words. That's supposed to be a round where we can engage in discourse and discussion.
I will say that there's so much history on Cache, but we used to lambast people very often for not just throwing all the Molotovs on the A site, because you can cover everything, right? And that should be impossible, essentially. No, we're back to that, James. We're back to
right back where we were. We've seen many. There's a lot to talk about for Cache. There's a lot to talk about.
There really is, yeah.
So there's a corner to the left of the crosshair here. Force a dime, like that corner basically where he's aiming with the blue and white wall. So that corner used to be rounded off, so you could, from a T perspective, bounce, say, a Molotov underneath the vent into that corner where a CT can hide. But that corner is no longer rounded, so you can't bounce things off there anymore, which is awkward, especially like if you're trying to, show a lot of presence on your own. It's a little harder to do that now. Whereas before you could smoke off the front of the B bomb site, get the molly in there, like you could clear a certain amount of area on your Jack Jones, but it's a little bit more challenging now.
And you can see a result there in A main is just looking for something that was very common for CTs to get info is CT main pop flashes to see if their setup is starting to happen in the A main position. But no one's deep enough here from Astralis to do that. So there might be a look in on this site if the util does its job, but a clean channel where the spray just falls onto everybody. And again, you can't test Yabi in this game, in this series. He's the one player for Astralis that is extraordinarily reliable.
10 seconds to die, and that will be achieved at the very least. I'm super interested in where we're going round to round in this game of Cache. So
yeah.
The money's broken. I remember we did an Asia qualifier for a major out of Malaysia a long time ago.
God, don't.
And we had some very strange games of Cache there, where some of the teams from China and other regions were a bit averse to taking mid as a T side.
A bit. They didn't do it once. Multiple overtimes.
We kind of lost our minds because one game went maybe to 3-4 overtimes.
Yeah.
And in the whole process, neither team went mid as Ts until like the last overtime. Maybe it was the decision. It made all the difference. I don't recall, but we might see a bomb plant here from an ecoing Nemesis side, which when you're playing that numbers game, you know, and you're all basically cannon fodder, is the goal. Has certainly been achieved now. And we'll see if Astralis can have minimal bleeding here as they come through to retake. 2 kills, I think, is fantastic. Like, if your minimum goal there is a bomb plant and you get 2 frags as well, great round.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely does the job. So the round does get picked up, and Astralis are looking pretty good at the moment. But now we're into the first buy for Nemesis, so we haven't really been able to see too much from them. So we get to see the defense here in against the pistols. I'm hopeful, and that we'll see a mid control here for Nemesis now in their buy round. So getting the mid smokes out there against CTs. And there's a molly for the boost position. Very familiar things here on Cash.
That's a really nice molly. A nice lineup. I have a jump throw from colliding with the rail, aiming at the bottom of that red line near the door. A jump throw will do the job, but that one was clean AF. So, initial challenges in that mid position. Silent jump.
So Dame's pretty deep on the vent room already, and there's found no CTs here, but there's someone in the corner over there at the back. Huge kill to find on Ryu. It's gonna cause a little rotation as well. So bomb is there towards B. Dame is not done just yet. Another entry, and the Molotov will force them back. So the site is very taken.
Yeah, I don't know if this is pursued by the CT side. If you've got good util, which I think is going to be rare for a retake of B, you can smoke off the checkers entrance and the main T entrance into the B bomb sites. But I feel like it's very rare we're going to see that on Cash with the utility required at the beginning of the round in mid and such. Oh, you can no longer jump on that lamp on B from upper as well. That was a very nice abusable spot, but it is no more. A lot of people were upset at the lack of simple graffiti on the B bomb sites. I think it's like consecrated ground for many a Counter-Strike fan. I think that was a big cultural thing.
Oh yeah.
Which is maybe something for devs to think about in future.
Protest, James. We need protests. Peaceful protests.
Both teams on the buy for round 6. So again, I'm curious to see how mid progresses.
Yeah.
I think we might see delayed takes from the T side here.
Yeah.
I think they're just lining up looking for boosts at the moment.
Classic Cash stuff, for sure. The play around A main there, and a very nice kill to get. And that does make the map a bit more readable for Astralis, especially because they've got mid control still. They've got mid control, they have A main control. They can see basically everything, and they're quite well prepared for anything towards B here, because they can also burst through the vents for an assist. So this makes this whole position very, very difficult for Nemesis. And Stare in a nice boosted position in middle now. Astralis are just extremely ready for everything at the moment. Oh, I like this. They're all going through the door. This is interesting. Maybe Celta can kind of sell a bit of noise and a fake towards B. Yeah, he's going to send some util out towards B.
The problem is Yabi's on A. And that has often been enough as they line up for him.
Yeah.
Now Magiki is stuck waiting for his demise. Yabi's hands and arms are open, welcoming all would-be assailants to his bomb site. He is 12 for free.
Honestly, stop going to I think that we're at that point, James. I think we're at that point where the strat is go away from Yabi.
You've got some games where like Karrigan on the CT side may be targeted by a team. Maybe teams need to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Maybe Nemesis needs to do the opposite to Yabi. Yabi's on A, don't go A. Take mid, split B. This is just not working out at all.
Yeah, I mean, Nemesis haven't really been going for delayed mid takes because you're right, that was very much in the meta previously because the CTs kind of have to stop the rush timings. So the CTs have to throw these nades that we're seeing on screen there. Like, they have to throw those right away. Okay, it's going to be a quick burst through the 8 main position. And over a forklift, it's Yabi. Of course, he's going to find 2 kills instant. Oh my god, it's disgusting there from Yabi. And finally, he's going to get dealt with, but it's 3 kills later.
This might be just about doable for Nemesis. Maybe a little luck required. We've got a lot of retake utility. We've got more flames. Celta with the Galil will be punctured by Fuzi. And again, they go towards Yabi. We saw so many flashes being spammed through a main, but almost all of them are going at an angle where he's protected by forklift and not being blinded by almost any of them. Yeah, and then, of course, he's still Yabi afterwards, so, you know, many people die. 15 for 4 now. Whereas, like, Stair's got 1 frag. Yeah. Huxey's got 2. Ryu's got 2. There's just not much to do because they keep going towards Yabi.
Yeah, it's become quite comical at this point. But yeah, 5-2 scoreline, and yeah, there is so much tactical stuff around mid that's missing for Nemesis right now. That is kind of shutting down their options a little bit, I think, because yeah, you give the CT the option to go close, but you just have to be able to do the delayed take and have the nades to kind of flush them out of the closer positions. That's kind of how it's supposed to work, and then you can kind of course, take mid away, and then that allows you to threaten A splits and B splits. And that's kind of the reason why mid is so important.
For a round such as this, if the CTs had smoked A main, you can do a really nice left-right click flash into that smoke from the lockers, which gets forklift guy as well. Maybe there's a chance now if they can wield this AWP. It is in the hands of Magic-E, but that grenade will do so much damage. Minutes on the clock. Stair just seeing Celta in time. That could be quite pivotal, but Magic-E still has the AWP. Stair waiting for a repeat. The grenades just chipping down further and further. Barbecued now by Ryu, leaving Texi with a lot to do. Unable to do it again. They will take some CTs with them, but the wheels keep turning for Astralis.
Yeah, they certainly do. You feel like that's the best chance you've got right there. You kill Yabi pretty quickly, you got a bomb down. You know, it's a pretty even off the plant. But no, Astralis still cooking them. And again, you can kind of see that for the most part, Astralis are in the position where they have most of the information they need. Just off of these very cheap mid takes that they're getting as well. Because that's the other thing too, James, is that as the T side, you can kind of force the CTs to expend more util in mid as you take that fight. So see if there's any change to be had there. What's also crazy is there's probably like a lot of players, like pro players in the current day and age, that this is their first experience with Cash, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is actually more insane to think. I see you thinking. I feel like you're pensive.
Some were almost literal babies when Shroud was making highlights.
Oh yeah, with the CZ and everything.
Yeah, well, there's a big pick onto Yabi. That's got to fill them with confidence. Not undeterred, still pursue this A bomb site. Time and again. Again, we haven't really seen much presence in mid so far in this half from Nemesis, or attempts on mid, really. Yeah. Been relatively unchallenged. No one really on the boost. No take of mid. No molly by the sandbags.
Back to the Counter-Strike in Kuala Lumpur all those years ago.
So Fuzi will be alone on that A-bomb site. No commitment just yet. Maybe inviting rotation, actually. Stime's been left into a false sense of security, but there was no rotation coming just yet. Now things seem a bit dicey as the flank comes through. Bomb spotted. Now what do? You're getting shot from the front and the back. Bombs on the floor, 19 seconds. And this round has just been a little too slow for Nemesis. Magicy alone now, and 1 versus 4. Maybe looking for an exit with his AWP, but that won't be allowed either.
7-2. It just looks too easy for Astralis. It just really feels like they're a lot more familiar with how to play the map at the moment. I will be curious to see on the second half how the mid dynamics play out if Astralis put more emphasis on the T side there than Nemesis currently are. But as far as things stand right now, it doesn't look like Astralis are going to slow down at any point in this half, James. It could be a pretty quick game of cash with the way things are going.
Yeah, they will need something from this half, will Nemesis. Bear in mind, Nemesis won the pistol round. They won the pistol round, they immediately got reset, and they have 1 round to show for it post-pistol. So this is an arid environment for them indeed. They are absolutely parched, and there's no sign of water.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff too when CTs can get someone either like boosted up as well. Those A main flanks are absolutely brutal. But we're back into the action again, 7-2. That's CT utility, and now we're going to get a challenge here. Are they thinking about a challenge into mid? Okay, we get the white box Molotov. It's a little less white than it used to be.
No sandbag molly though on this occasion, and that's going to cost them, as you see standing at those sandbags. Maybe just shortcomings in this round. You know, it's not a full buy that we're seeing here. But where there are shortcomings, there's opportunity for Astralis to punish. Fuzi's got to be careful not to be too close in this scenario. Repositioning. He's still got Yabi over towards the A-bomb site as well. But now Astralis needs to finally deal with some presence in that mid position. Dealt with, I guess. Oh, no. Times here as well. Might not be here for long, though.
Yeah, this is not a good look. It's a really tough position. The AWP post is on the other side. There we go, cleaned up. But again, this is a map where, you know, it is so nice with AKs to run around on this map. When you're in the open spaces, you can find really cool headshots all over the place. But Astralis, again, just very familiar with how to play the positions. And yeah, Nemesis, you know, there's a lot of detail, I think, that you mentioned, James, that there's some of the takes that they're looking at, you know, you're seeing is kind of missing right now. Usually, you know, you throw those mollies you're talking about when you're on the boots as well.
Well, they've got a proper buy now this time, Nemesis. So we'll see if they continue their approach on the A-bomb site. Nice HE onto the boost position. Soto won't enjoy that. Now, you can criticize the repeat approach to the same bomb site that keeps failing, but sometimes teams feel like they just need to tweak one thing or another and they'll find success rather than failure. It's a hell of a barbecue over there. So they're taking a lot of risks to try and catch a T unawares, and there's more flames where they came from. So Nemesis prodding this mid position now, but still looking for an opening.
Yes, and okay, they're going to find one finally. Oh, over the top of the smoke though. Yabi, of course, it's Yabi finding another kill. Fuzi, the miss flip there. It won't miss a second time, and now Sadam's going to really find this position, value from this position. There goes Fuzi, but still going to be challenging to deal with Yabi, who's on the other end of this one, causing problems as ever. Finally goes down 2 versus 2 now, thanks to the efforts from Sadam. 25 seconds to get the bomb from short and then plant it.
There's a molly on the bomb as well, which has come and gone. And now the HEs as well. God, the strikes on that bomb. But it has been rescued and it will be planted. Huxi and Ryu staying together. They've both got kits. They have a flash. Magic Keys in a post-plant position with an AWP, which will be very strong. Oh, they see what they choose to do. Ryu heading for the door. He'll hope it's still open. Magic Key with a very, very strong angle indeed. Hooksu takes it all in the face. And the door is open, but where is that second player? He's got precious few seconds to find out. Steim is way closer than Ryu wants him to be. And he'll choose to make an exit instead. Got all he could from that round. A rare one for Nemesis, finally finding success on the A-bomb site.
Yeah, they do. They managed to get that plant down, and the approach into mid more successful. And you know, that's in part also because Astralis put a little less emphasis there. So it was a great round for Nemesis to get some value in mid, and it definitely helps a lot. I feel like that was like the first super legit round that they have managed to get, you know, because one of the rounds they got was a pistol, and I forget what the second round Nemesis posted was, but I think it's like an A rush or something like that. I can't remember completely, but it has been few and far between, of course, and it's not feeling super replicable, some of the successes for Nemesis, but we'll see if they get a bit more emphasis around that mid position now that it helped them so much in that previous round.
There are so many things that we are yet to discover with Cash reintroduced to the map pool. Things that used to work in CSGO, do they still work in CS2? Are they more challenging, more risky? Like a spawn, like if you've got the best spawn with the AWP, do you make the play off the balcony to get an early pick on B?
Right.
A lot of things that we'll look to see if they reappear or will be notably missing. Fuzzy is heading over towards that B bomb site actually. I think he's doing exactly what I was talking about. Posted up in checkers. A little bit pathetic. He didn't even have the best spawn. He was behind one of his teammates, but still confident to go for that play. Plays closer ranges. A lot of missed shots with this AWP. It looks like Nemesis will capitalize on this. Over to B we go.
Okay, well then. Hooksu and Yabi left alive. Hooksu's gonna have to go crazy for this one. The smoke does provide a way into the site. Bomb's not even down just yet though, so they can actually they're gonna toss the bomb across to Sedame. But Hooksu's on the site. It doesn't seem like they have any idea he's on the site here. And the bomb's gonna go down. Okay, this is feeling a little bit sketchy. I mean, just a 1v4 for Yabi.
I wonder if there was a little bit more that could be done with some trigger discipline there, because the bomb was running into the site backwards.
Totally. I think he thought that they knew that he was there. And just like that, at the end of the first half, 8-4 for Astralis. Something at the end for Nemesis, at least.
Hey guys, I'm frozen.
This is false.
Apex has great hair. From great hair to no hair. Anyway, Astralis are 8-4 in the lead, a very strong side of Cash. Nemesis re-aggressing again and again on the A-bomb site with mixed results, mostly negative. We'll see if they can turn things around now as it is their turn to defend. And again, they won the pistol in that first half, got reset immediately and had 2 rounds until they won 2 more. The last 2 in that half, it was that dire. But maybe the worst is over for them. Pop flash into A main to stop any early shenanigans. As Astralis asks questions, just with footsteps for the most part. They have Ryu looking over towards B, keeping the CTs honest, but they'll be patient, waiting for Astralis to make a play.
Yeah, in theory, it should be easier for Nemesis to play the CT side. You know, it did feel like their development around mid was a bit of a struggle, but it is easier on the CT side to be a bit more rudimentary with the mid approach. So we'll see how it goes here for Astralis too, because Astralis it does feel like Astralis really have a much greater sense of playing Cash. Like this, for example, like the delay take there with the pop flashes looks very reminiscent of how teams would play Cash in the past. And now comes the split onto the A site, and the split really powerful once you've got that short position activated, as Stair will take full advantage of that spot, and he'll be able to clean out the site with his teammates. Now Celta and Stain have to make their way in through the short position. It's not going to be easy.
Elevating his position to avoid a headshot if anybody's at fork. Nice detail, but no one found just yet. Okay, one at quad. Where are the remainder? Steim all alone now, trying to isolate these fights as best he can. Nice taps, no kit, no time, just about the bonus frags now. Again, an opportunity to save the Kevlar if possible. Won't matter now. Astralis continue their run then. Again, two late rounds from Nemesis, really a nothing half for them. And the map and the series start to slowly slip away.
Certainly, yeah. It's gonna be very tough. It's gonna be very tough. Again, we're just seeing, I think, some small details from Astralis. You just kind of see more comfort with the map back in circulation for them. So we'll see exactly what there is to offer here now for Nemesis. On the CT side, just some pistols, largely looking to maybe punish any mid play, but there isn't really any mid play just yet. Again, mid is really nice. You know, when you're in the position of the T side, I feel like there's two approaches that can work really well. I think set pieces on the A and the B site, because you can carpet everything with Molotovs to deal with the pistols because of how open the site is and so on. Or going for these delayed mid takes where you see there's that sandbags model you're talking about, James. Yep. This is all the classic stuff that you wanted to see, and that's the kind of thing that it makes the mid take really safe, and the open duels are also very favorable. So you just get kind of like so many options once you've managed to grab this space, and they found that there's nobody here, so they got to be wondering, what is Nemesis doing?
Yeah, those are some of the early indicators for how ready your team is here on Cash. The average age of Nemesis is 21.
Okay.
And it's 24 for Astralis. But that small window may be enough to have a lot more familiarity.
Yeah, I think so.
On Cash and, you know, what box to stand behind and so on. We've seen a USP round win on this bomb site already. Perhaps it's Nemesis's turn now, as there are 20 seconds and they're all still standing. Still, though, the last one emerging from that B bomb site as Celta starts to creep through the smoke. Spotted by Hooksy, who seems ready at forklift. Repositioning carefully now. And there may be nothing in this round for Nemesis. I mean, there's probably nothing, all things considered. They'll still go fishing to do what they can. Astralis make it to 10, and it could be an early bath for Nemesis in this map of Cash.
Man, if Valve really want to throw a loop for the pro scene in this respect, they could just bring back like old Cobblestone or something. That would be pretty wild.
People do ask for Cobble. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it was painful. It was painful, and the only way that it was played or picked in the clone, I think, was it the clone major that where NIP won was with the randomizer.
Yeah,
where
that randomizer was fun.
Yeah,
I liked that. That was fun.
It's so unthinkable now.
It was just chaotic. It was just, it was like the right kind of chaos.
But was that with when we had 3 majors a year? Was it that territory? It was, wasn't it?
Maybe. Either way, that was you know, that was fun. It was like almost like a wrestling-esque stipulation. Like, what are we gonna get? Oh, it's this one.
Yeah. It was actually pretty hilarious. Yeah, it did put a caveat on NIP's win at that time too, because many people were like, well, it's just because Cobble. Essentially. But people wanted the D-laws as well. But anyway, we're getting into so much Counter-Strike history here. We are 10-4 here for Astralis, as Astralis look to continue in winning ways with a very quick burst out into the mid position. And Celta getting close, able to control the space for now.
Yeah, cheap investment there from Astralis, and standard stuff if you're playing close on Cash. Running sideways, avoiding the flash, but ready to fight. Quick surge into A then, and this one's getting very urgent for Nemesis. Stare in the corner, and Magic Key will deal. Got a good angle on the player in A main now, but he'll be dealt with by Fuzi. Hooksy with great angles, drops Celta through the smoke. Bomb being planted, 2 on 1 now as Texi's deleted.
Up the ladder we go. Nice find onto Fuzi. Oopsie by Forklift will be pushed back into a main. That's a great smoke there. Oopsie's going to play forward into the site. Now the pressure's on. That's going to force Hooksy. He's got to go out there. He doesn't know if the bomb's being stuck or not. He's gambling it. The mind game's coming in here between these two players. Hooksy, does he? Oh, he does go over the top there, but Sname is ready. 8 points of health. Wow, that's incredible.
Really down to the wire. Really down to the wire. But an important round win there. Again, they were ready for that one-man investment into mid, and it was a really tough fight, a sudden one from Astralis. And maybe that's why there was just one man there in mid. Either way, really down to narrow margins there. I think Steim spotted just about the player by Forklift, dropped the molly. Nemesis able to prevail. That you could see Astralis felt like that was them closing out the series. But they're not done just yet.
We find Fuzi over the top. Well, not too much. It's Magicy that might find something. Like it going reasonably deep there.
Yeah.
Always good to see a brave AWPer. An AWPer that knows his worth.
He was always the man to do that early. Seen some nice frags from Magicy today. Still just the one player over towards B. Stair will be dropped by Magicy eventually. He could be a key factor if there is to be a comeback in this half from Nemesis. Presence towards checkers on B then for Astralis. Bomb still in the hands of Hooksy. Moving away from the entrance to mid. So with 5 players heavily committed to the A bomb site, I think Celta and Steim may have to be successful here. Otherwise this round might be over unless we see some timely activity from those A players. Magicy starting to rotate over. He has a molly which could help if he can get there in time. He's got his skates on. He's almost there now. 20 seconds for this bomb to get planted. Celta and Steim combined for 3. That leaves Fuzi with nothing to do. There was some promise for a moment for Astralis, but they were never able to make it materialize.
Well, Nemesis looking to bring themselves back into this one, and you know, very important timing to do so. Astralis really starting to run away with things, but it's not over just yet. But at the very least, they've gotten rid of a lot of the money from Astralis. Really great defense. I mean, they can shoot, that's for sure. These Nemesis guys, they can definitely shoot. And again, it kind of goes back to that thing I was mentioning, where it is going to be easier to play the CT side if there's a familiarity diff on the map for Nemesis.
There's a lurk smoke in mid from the T side. Nothing behind it, but maybe that will keep players focused on that bomb site as they can do a flash into the smoke on the B bomb site. We still have Texi at the back here, who's going to be in a lot of trouble. Can he delay the push? He can do better than that. Dropping Hooksy and Yabi coming back for Stair as well. Big performance from Texi. So close to reducing the deficit here, but 2 of them dropped by Fuzi in a clutch now, who suddenly made it a 1v1. Result hasn't popped the vent just yet, so he can't get closer without giving the game away. Fuzi wondering where he might be.
Bomb being down is quite irritating. The assumption has to be that Russell knows where it is and might be even positioned around it, but the vent not being broken is problematic for Result as well. Looking to go for the bait though. Fuzi very aware that this could trigger that movement. Insane that Result actually didn't peek there at all.
It's broken on the other, it's not broken on the other side. That's the problem. So he's stuck there.
Yeah.
Until he knows he can commit.
Wow, that's insane.
He's got no idea where to look. He's completely paranoid. He needs tablets and a therapist. That molly will force him into the open, but Fuzi will deliver. That's the 11th round Astralis have been looking for.
Oh no. That's a rough one. Astralis. Again, you know, just really good shooting here on the site, but Fuzi coming alive at the worst possible moment for his opponents. That's I think that's one of the biggest rounds we've seen from Fuzi. He's 19-8, so really finding his footing on the third map of this series.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a big one. Nemesis are still able to muster a reasonable buy. Celta's got the MP9, so his choices may be a bit more difficult. I think it was him on a previous round who was able to charge up mid, avoid a flash, and get a pick on a single player making his way in, but you may feel less inclined to do that with an MP9. I mean, if you're close, but we'll see what he chooses to do. Nemesis need 5 to tie up now with Astralis. So Celta will go to that short position on this occasion, rather than up close in mid. So up on these lockers, you can often find an angle on the corner through that smoke there, and again, being older will help with that.
Yeah.
Celta caught off immediately.
Oh man, yeah, that's a problem. They don't really have much util left either. 1 smoke remaining. And Astralis will start to gather up. Boost there for Stare. Pretty tough here for the CT side, because again, info plays, you know, on this map, that's like another whole thing. Like, you know, understanding just sort of what are the good info plays, and what timing should you make them? How can they inform your positioning? And Nemesis keep it simple. They're just going to stack towards the B sites, and honestly, they're actually right. So this could work out for Nemesis. Multiple players in the same spot too. This has potential, James.
Yeah, this is a lot to deal with. Although if Texi tries to fall off, that could be interesting if he ends up on his teammate's head. Only good for the one, but Steim is here as well. And now Risol can play bait off of his teammate, and Hooksy runs straight into the trap. Just not expecting a third player on the bomb site there. And now there are 18 seconds to plant that bomb, and still 2 on the bomb sites, and reinforcements on the way. Heading towards 12, Bell's being run, CT's being deleted. Magic Key is here now, 6 seconds to get that bomb planted. Oh, it's so awkward to face the AWP again, but he manages to do it. Stair comes off the bomb, and the round will be won by Nemesis.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so Nemesis, they're bringing it back here, James. They're making it look a little bit awkward here and there, but hey, it is working for them.
If you've got time to plant the bomb, I feel like you have to commit to it there, whether you're going to die or not. Otherwise, you'll lose the round regardless. But yeah, those corners in main, always got to be aware of those and someone looking through them. Same is true of these new smokes in CS2 over towards B as well. You can get some angles to the balcony, but it works both ways, of course. Definitely something to be aware of.
Yabby goes down. Crazy Stare able to take 2 players out though. That's going to make things a little bit awkward. Defending at the back with the AWP is nice until you got someone in your face. Now just 2 players left for Nemesis here as they look to try to figure out how to get around this situation. Well, he's forcing some repositions here as Nemesis start to close in on this one, but this is going to be very challenging. So Dame is going to be the first man in, looking to see what he can find here, and multiple players looking for him. It's not going to be easy. 12-7 as Astralis move on to match point.
I thought, well, Sadaim had some shadow teasing a frag on that bomb site, but the trades were instant, and Astralis, who look much more comfortable, absolutely ready for success here. grinding down this CT side, who have put up a fight, but just don't have enough rounds. All the rounds needed now, but they don't have all the money to do it. Surely they don't. A FAMAS here and MP9 there. 5-7s have been dangerous in this series, but surely this is too much to ask.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot. It's a lot to ask for sure. You would expect that Astralis should be able to close this out, James. I mean, they've got such a significant advantage. And you know, what's really interesting is how the game started from the individual performances of Yappy, but then how things started to get picked up by Fuzi and Stare as well in terms of the individual plays. But look at that, Fuzi over there, able to get the legs. 2 quick frags for the Astralis side, gunning down the mid push. And now there's not very much left here for Nemesis. A FAMAS, an MP9, and an Eagle.
It's great stuff. Just spraying that window is a perfect lineup if you're along that red wall. Trying to make it close. Spraying that window, you'll eat all of those bullets. Painful lessons here for Nemesis. Very painful indeed. Astralis surviving to the 3rd map, answering the call here on Cash. Texi doing what he can. But we need too much from him. Wall of smoke separating Celta. Maybe with that wall there's opportunity. Looking for a rifle. Spotting ahead. Spotting some boosts. Oh, delivering. Finally, eventually. 2-on-3 now. Superior angles for Astralis. Sadaim will try to eliminate some of those with the flash. And then there were 2. They're making progress at the very least. They don't have a kit. That clock is ticking. Very hard to peek around that corner. And then it's Celta with that Desert Eagle once again. Just trying to find one of these players to put him out of his misery. Astralis will clutch it in 3 versus Nemesis.
And just like that, Nemesis, they're done. And Vu is incorrect in his prediction.
Yeah,
however, however, it was a good shout, but it just didn't work out. And now we're going to head over to the desk and we'll see Vu in all of his shame.
Vu, you're just getting called out, man, for flip